Welcome back to Drafting with Mark, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at drawing this part using AutoCAD 3D. Now, you've seen me in other videos, and what I'm going to do is link at the end of this video me creating this in both Inventor. So if you're interested in learning some about sheet metal, check out that video at the end of this one. And I've also did this in 2D. So this is going to be a 3D AutoCAD video. Alright, so let's jump over to AutoCAD and get started. Okay, so let's do our normal housekeeping, which includes turning off the grid. Let's go ahead and turn ortho on for now. And then let's look at the running O snaps that I have set up. Okay, so the way that I'm going to do this, and there is an easier way of doing this, we can extrude this, but I don't think I have too many videos on my channel showing you how to sweep things using AutoCAD, especially in the 3D portion. So I'm going to do that in this one. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to pan over to where I see my UCS. From here is where I'm going to create my circle. So I'll go with a circle, center radius. I'm going to type in the coordinates I want it at, which is going to be 0, 0. And then I'll type in the radius, which is going to be 6.5. Alright, from here I'm going to go down this quadrant, a distance of 8.5. And then we're going to go to the left, 8.5. And let's go ahead and escape out of that. And let's mirror this to the other side. So, mirror. Select these two lines here. Hit enter. And I'm just going to select these two quadrants. So, select that one first. And then this one. And hit enter. Let's go ahead and trim this portion out. So, trim. Do that. And now I have just these two kind of lines here, but I need these to be arcs. Now, if you remember back to the drawing, it had a certain distance between them. Or radius is what I meant to say. And that radius on the outside one had a distance of 2. But remember that we're dealing with the one that's on the bottom or the inside. So let's click over and bring the drawing back up so I can kind of explain a little bit more what I'm talking about. Now, what I'm referring to is this arc. So remember that anytime you're using the sweep command, you're going to need two things. You're going to need a profile and you're going to need a path. And right now I'm creating a path. So this path is what I'm going to create, and I'm using this bottom line here and rotating all the way around to this way. So that's the reason why I chose the 6.5. Here's the 8.5. But I need to calculate this radius. So this radius is telling me that it's a distance of 2. But remember that we do have this offset here. So the thickness of our material is sitting at 1. So the radius plus this offset will give me that radius on the inside. And that should be 3. So let's go ahead and go to fillet. Then we're going to adjust our radius to 3. And then we have more than 1. So let's choose multiple. And then I'm just going to click these two lines here where I make my arc and do the exact same thing here on the other side. Alright. So this kind of completes my path that I need. I need to do one more thing. So remember that when we're dealing with creating solids, especially in AutoCAD, this has to be a polyline. So I'm just going to select all of this, and I'm going to join it together by using the join command. Right? So we're going to select join. I'm just going to check this and make sure that it is a polyline. Also, you can see on my command line that it said I had 7 objects and it created it into 1. The next thing I'm going to need to create is going to be the profile. I'm going to create the profile by using a rectangle. So I'll select the rectangle here. I'll pick a point, which is here. And then I need to give it its X and Y. So I know that it goes 6 in the X direction and it goes up 1 in the Y direction. So I'll just type in 6, 1. Alright, so those are the two things that I'm going to need. Let's go ahead and switch over to 3D and start working on kind of making this into a 3D part. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and select the 3D modeling. Give it a second. And our ribbon should change and we should be able to get rid of this dialog box that appeared here in a second. Now, I did have one of my users reach out to me in a comment and said that he's not getting the base here to show up. What I'm going to suggest, and hopefully that this works for him, is just do a right click in this blank area here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to look for, let's see, it should be under the view tab here. So what I'm meaning is that I'm going to look here at the bottom of this, and you see I see the word view here. So when I right click on here, and I do have two view tabs here, I just noticed that. And I'm going to come here and I'm going to check, and I have both of mine turned on, right? So one of them deals with this base one and the other one deals with this one. So just do a right click in there and then go down here to where it says show panels and then make sure that you have view checked on and let me know. All right, let's go ahead and close this. And now we're going to look at this in an isometric view. So I'm going to select here. And then I need to kind of do some manipulation here. So I need to rotate this going upward, and I also need to rotate this. So remember, the way we can do this, the easiest way is going to use with our gizmos, right? So I'm going to go to my rotate gizmo, and you'll notice that it's not appearing. And remember that it won't appear because you're in the 2D wireframe. I'm just going to select here, and I'm just going to use the regular wireframe. So once I do that, you can see that when I select this object here, now I'll get my gizmo here. Go ahead and select the red icon here. And I'm just going to make sure that it's standing up in this position. My ortho is still on, so I'll do a left click here. Go ahead and hit escape. Then I'm going to select my rectangle here. And I'm going to select that on the red axis. I'm going to stand that one up by selecting here. And then I'm going to rotate this around this blue axis. So I'm going to select the blue one. I'm going to go this way and then do a left click. All right, let's go ahead and escape out of that. And now I'll zoom into here. And what I need to do here is place this onto that endpoint. Now you can do it without it, but AutoCAD works best if the profile is touching the path. So I'm just going to use a regular move command. I'll select my rectangle here. Hit enter afterwards. I'm going to go from this midpoint, so select that midpoint and then place it right on that endpoint. Okay, let's zoom out. And now let's see if this should be able to sweep this. So let's go to sweep. The first thing it's going to ask me for is give me a profile, right? So select the objects that I want to sweep. So I'm going to select this object first. Go ahead and hit enter. And then it's going to say give me a path. The path is going to be that shape that we created here, right? So now you can see that it did indeed create what we needed to do. Let's go ahead and take a look at this in shades of gray or something along that line, just so we can see exactly what we created. All right. So next I'm going to go ahead and put those cylinders that are located on these points here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a circle. Now this is where you kind of got two choices here. You can always take a look at what your UCS is doing, and remember that we create things on the X and Y plane, right? Our X and Y plane happens to be parallel to this face here. So we're good on that. If we didn't, we can also use the dynamic UCS. But in our case, we're just going to use a regular rectangle or a cylinder command. So I'm just going to use a cylinder. And I'll go ahead and click here. And now what I need to do is I'm going to zoom into here and I'm going to touch this midpoint. And then I'm going to track off of it, right? And I got to go back to that again because you can see my tracking kind of took over. So once I get my green tracking lines off of that, I'll go ahead and type in 2.75. And now it's asking me to give me a radius, right? But we have a diameter, so I'm just going to select diameter down here on my keyboard. The diameter of this circle is 3. And then it has to be longer than that. So any number that's 1 or greater will work here. Mine is going down 6. I'll just type in 6. Now I have two choices here. I can do the exact same thing on this other side. I can also mirror this, or I can copy it. Whichever way is easier to you to do, right? I'm just going to create it again just so we get a little bit more practice using cylinders. So I'm going to go cylinder. I want you to touch and then track. Once you get the green tracking marks, let go of your cursor, your mouse. Type in the 2.75, enter. It has the same diameter as the last one, so I'm just going to hit enter. And I'm going to pull down this way and I'll type in 6, enter. Alright, so we have that done. Let's go ahead and subtract that from this. So we're going to go to subtract. We're going to select the object that I want to keep first. Go ahead and hit enter. And then I'm going to select these two cylinders. Go ahead and hit enter. Once you see that, your holes should appear. Now let's go ahead and cut this part that's going out through the front of this, right? Now I'm going to do that with the box command. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a box. I'm going to place a corner here, and now it's going to ask me, where do you want to place that other corner? Now you take note of which way this is going. So it is going parallel to the X and Y. So we're creating a rectangle as if we're on the X and Y plane, right? Well, I know the thickness of this top part, and that part is actually irrelevant. I just need to make sure that the Y point is correct. So this distance going this direction really doesn't matter as long as it's bigger than the distance from here going across here. So I'm just going to make that number just to show you that I can exaggerate it a little bit. I'll make it 25. Put in a comma. And how wide I need this to be. Now this has to be a very particular number. And in our case, that number is 4. So I'm going to make it 25 by 4. And now it's going to ask me what's the height of this, right? Once again, this number can be a big number, right? So I can make this number, and I don't have the drawing right here where I'm kind of looking at it, but I think it's 7.5. So long as it's 7.5 or greater, I'm just going to make this number 10 just so I know that it's enough. All right, we're just going to use a regular move. Go ahead and select your object here. Hit enter. I'm going to place from this midpoint here along the back, and I'm going to place it right at that midpoint. Let's go ahead and subtract that and see what shape we get. So let's go subtract. I'm going to select the object I want to keep, enter, and then I'm going to select the box, enter. And now that did indeed cut it out the way that we wanted it to do. The last thing I need to do is go ahead and put the fillets on the end of this. And each one of those fillets have a radius of 2, right? So let's go to the fillet command. Now I'm just going to switch over to the solid tab, and then I'm going to use a fillet edge. I'm going to select radius, tell it that it has a radius of 2, so hit 2, enter. And then I'm going to select the edges, right? We're going to select that line there, then this one, and then we're going to spin around to the other side. So I'm just going to click here on my view cube. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit more and select this line here, and then this line. All right, once you have that done, go ahead and hit enter. It's going to ask you, hey, does that look about right? And then hit enter again, and you should have it accepted, right? All right, so now let's take a look at this in an isometric view and see that that is the shape that we were trying to create, right? All right, so once this is done, we can switch over to the drafting portion of this. All right, the way we're going to do that is we're going to click on Layout 1. I'm going to delete the viewport here. Then I'm going to create a title block. I'm going to do that by using a rectangle, so I'm going to click back on the home command, and then I'm going to go to rectangle, which is located here. Lower left is going to be a 0, 0, enter. The right hand side is going to be an A size drawing, so I'm going to make it 11, 8.5. All right, we have our A size. I'm just going to offset this to the inside, a distance of 0.25. So let's go to offset. Offset is located here. Type in 0.25, enter. And I'm going to click this here and do it here. Now I can make all of the layers and things of that nature, and I will refer you back to doing the 2D drawing if that's something that you're into. All the dimensioning and things of that nature will be exactly the same as I showed in that video. So once again, if you want to see full dimensioning, please refer to that video where I created this in 2D and I go over every step of how to do that. But for what we need to do is I'm going to show you how to go ahead and put those views in, right? So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and line this white piece of paper up just with my title block. The way that we do that is you see Layout 1 here. I can do a right click on this, and then I can go to Page Setup Manager, or I can actually click on the Layout tab and choose Page Manager there. But I'm just going to hit the Page Setup here. Let's go ahead and click on Modify. And you've probably seen me do this a ton of times if you watch many of my videos. So I'm just going to go to DWG is equal to a PDF, right? DWG to PDF. ANSI full bleed, and we're looking for the full bleed 11 by 8.5. I'm going to tell this to be at the extents. Go ahead and center it, and I'm going to leave this set to 1 to 1, and go ahead and hit OK, and then close. All right, so let's now bring in our views, and once again, I hope that you do have this base showing, and if you don't, remember that you can just kind of right click in this area. We're going to go to Show Panels, and then I have both of these views selected. All right, let's go ahead and bring in our views that we're going to use, right? So I'm just going to come over here to Base, and I'm going to tell it from Model Space. I'm going to give it a second here, and it should follow your cursor around. And it usually doesn't take that long. These are not complicated drawings, but it's going to follow along here in about a second. All right, and there it is. So you can see that that's the view that it's in. If we want to make this a little bit bigger, we do have the option of doing that now. So if I want to make this a little bit bigger, let's see what an 8 looks like, or even a 5. I think 5 is going to make it just about the right size that we need. So let's go ahead and make this 5. And remember, I'm not putting dimensions on it. So if it's something that you wanted to adjust later, you can do that. I'm just going to do a left click here. Go ahead and hit enter once you completed that first left click. And then I'm going to left click here. I'll left click here. And then I'm just going to put an isometric up here in the corner. Another left click. And once you're done with that, go ahead and hit enter. And it should create all of those views for you, right? Now remember that if these are too big for you, you can adjust, and always start with adjusting the main one first. So I'm just going to select this one first, and I can go to Edit Views, and then this is where the view scale is. So if I want to make that a little bit smaller, I can also take it back to an 8, and you're going to see all of these adjust with it, right? Another thing that I can do here is I'm just going to go to OK here. I'm going to select this view. Go to the view editor, and then I'm going to change the way that this looks. I'm just going to change this to shaded with visible lines. And then if I want this to be bigger or smaller, I can adjust that one. But for this drawing, it's going to be fine. Go ahead and hit OK. All right, and then here's your drawing. So if you want to put all the dimensions and things of that nature on it, you can do that. But we don't have any sections or anything weird here. The main goal of this drawing here was to show you how to create this three-dimensional part using the sweep. Now I could have did this by using an extrusion, and basically all I would have did was created this shape and then extruded it, and then I'd have had to go through the same process when I put in the holes and the cutout through the middle, right? But hopefully you enjoyed watching this video, and if these are more videos that you like to see, or if there's something that you want to see me do more of, please leave me a comment. And if you like these longer videos, as I used to just do kind of one part of this or another part, but remember that I'm going to try to do more of these type of videos where I kind of complete them doing it kind of 3 different phases, and sometimes on those isometrics they might take a little bit longer, so I might not do isometrics for most of the complicated parts, but for these, yeah, I can handle these with no problems. All right, so thank you for watching, and if you like these videos, please consider liking and subscribing, and thank you for your attention and hanging with me today.